Why do some relationships between older women and younger men feel electric, while others quietly dissolve into awkward distance or silent confusion? Is it the age gap, social expectations, or is it something subtler, something rooted not in years, but in unconscious energy? Perhaps you felt it. The spark was there, the chemistry alive, and then it shifted. Maybe it was when he asked your age. Maybe it was a glance, a pause, a feeling that you needed to explain yourself. Suddenly you were no longer just a woman in the room, you were older. But what if the problem isn't your age at all? What if it's how you hold it? What if the way you react to that difference is what makes all the difference? In this video, we'll uncover the one thing you should never do with a younger man, because it's not what you think. Drawing from Carl Jung's depth psychology and real-life dynamics, we'll explore how your energy, not your birth date, shapes attraction. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram community, where you'll get early access to new videos and insights on personal and spiritual growth. Now, let's begin. Many women step into relationships with younger men bringing warmth, wisdom, and strength. But unintentionally, that energy turns into something else, over-functioning. The impulse to guide, advise, and protect begins to take over, and with it, the dynamic quietly shifts from romantic to parental. Carl Jung wrote about the mother archetype, a powerful force of care and structure, but also one with a shadow side. When the mother energy dominates a relationship, it unconsciously positions the man in the role of son, and from that position he can't desire. He can only admire or obey. Attraction fades not because you've done something wrong, but because the polarity has collapsed. This doesn't mean you should suppress your nurturing nature. It means you must remain conscious of how and why you give. When a woman holds her ground, allows space for him to lead, and resists the urge to constantly smooth things over, something powerful happens. She preserves the very tension that sustains desire. What keeps that tension alive isn't artificial distance, but intentional self-restraint. It's allowing him to step into his masculine, even when your instinct tells you to step in and guide. This kind of emotional discipline isn't cold, it's deeply respectful. It's an invitation for him to rise, to act, to engage without being managed. And when he senses that space, he doesn't feel diminished. He feels trusted. That trust, far more than control, is what creates intimacy. Contrary to popular belief, most younger men don't care about your age as a number. What they respond to, often instantly, is how you wear it. When a woman nervously jokes about it, dodges the question, or tries to deflect with sarcasm, she may seem casual on the surface, but what's really showing is discomfort. And discomfort, especially when it's internalized, translates as self-doubt. Jung's idea of the shadow reminds us that what we reject within ourselves ends up shaping our interactions unconsciously. When you see your age as a limitation, you project that belief, often without realizing it. But when you carry your years with stillness, when you speak of your life without apology, you do something rare. You embody integrated experience. And this internal confidence, or lack of it, shows not just in how you talk about your age, but also in how you present your identity as a whole. It's not about being proud in an external way, it's about being emotionally neutral. When a woman can say, "I'm 48, with the same energy she might say, "I'm left-handed," it sends a very different message. She's not defensive. She's not compensating. She's simply present. And presence is deeply attractive. It creates relaxation in the other person's nervous system. The younger man doesn't sense competition or fear, he senses clarity. And clarity, combined with warmth, is what truly allows attraction to unfold. Even when a woman embraces her age, there's another trap waiting. The need to prove herself, to demonstrate value, to explain, sometimes unconsciously, why she deserves to be desired. Often this shows up in overemphasizing success, career achievements, independence, stories of resilience. These things are admirable, but when they become the main focus, something gets lost. Desire isn't fed by admiration, it's fed by resonance. Jung often warned of the inflated ego, the self that tries to dominate through identity and status. But true intimacy lives deeper than that. It lives in emotional openness, in attuned presence, in quiet confidence. A woman who constantly performs her competence communicates underneath it all that she's still seeking approval. But a woman who shares herself with lightness, who trusts that her presence is enough, creates something far more compelling: emotional gravity. And this emotional gravity invites connection without pressure. When a man feels that you're not trying to impress him, but are simply allowing him to see who you are, he relaxes. He no longer feels tested, compared, or measured. He feels invited. And that invitation is what allows the dynamic to breathe. It's not about hiding your success. It's about not leading with it. Because when you lead with being, not branding, you shift the relationship from performance to presence, and that's where desire lives. This same pattern can also show up in how you offer your time, your attention, your energy. What looks like devotion is sometimes, beneath the surface, emotional overinvestment. You text back immediately, you cancel your plans, you go out of your way to accommodate him again and again. It feels generous and maybe even loving. But what's really being communicated is this: my life revolves around your interest in me. Jung's process of individuation, the journey toward becoming a whole person, requires one essential ingredient: boundaries. Not walls, not distance, but the deep understanding that your value is not defined by your availability. A woman who is emotionally self-sourced doesn't need to perform closeness. She chooses it, and that difference is everything. This doesn't mean you become distant or cold. It means you stay anchored in your own rhythm. When a younger man senses that your attention is a choice, not a need, his attraction deepens. Because now he feels that being with you is meaningful, not automatic. He's not stepping into a dynamic where he's expected to complete you. He's being invited into a space where you're already whole. And that shift, from need to wholeness, is what transforms interest into lasting connection. Before we continue, if this video is helping you see things more clearly, consider sharing it with someone who needs it. And if you'd like to support this kind of thoughtful content, you can click the thanks button below. Your support truly helps us. Now, let's continue. So what does real magnetism look like? It doesn't come from youth, charm, or surface beauty. It comes from a woman who has made peace with herself. Carl Jung described wholeness as the result of a long inner journey, a confrontation with one's shadows, strengths, wounds, and truths. And the women who embody this, who have stopped chasing validation and started embodying their experience, radiate something that no amount of effort can fake. They don't chase youth. They don't try to impress. They don't compete. Instead, they offer something a younger woman, no matter how beautiful, cannot: depth, emotional steadiness, and presence. That presence is rare in the modern world. It's rare in relationships, and it's irresistible to anyone, especially to a man still becoming who he is. Real presence is quiet, grounded, and effortless. It's the energy of someone who doesn't need to explain her value. She simply embodies it. This is what makes a woman unforgettable, not how perfectly she presents herself, but how honestly she occupies her own life. A younger man who encounters this kind of woman often feels something unfamiliar, not excitement alone, but reverence. Because she isn't offering a version of what he already knows, she's offering something he's never met before. And that kind of attraction isn't manufactured. It's earned through integration. So here's the truth. You don't need to prove, compete, or correct anything. You need to live your wholeness. When you stop seeing your age as a disadvantage and begin seeing it as the root of your strength, everything changes. Younger men who are drawn to older women aren't confused. They're looking for depth, for presence, for something beyond the surface. They're looking for someone who doesn't just inspire them, but who makes them feel more grounded in who they are, simply by being herself. If this video opened something for you, let us know in the comments. Have you seen yourself in any of these patterns or broken free of them? We'd love to hear your story. Don't forget to subscribe to Mental Dose for more grounded, thoughtful content like this, where psychology meets lived experience. Until next time, stay rooted, stay awake, and above all, stay fully yourself.